the educator, the photographer, the videographer, the one and only Chris Holmes. How you doing, brother?
Doing live and well, ready to do another lovely, great podcast. Drop some bombs, get a little under people's skin, but have fun along the way. That's what it's all about on this one as we dive deep into the trenches.
All right, and of course, you already know. The dog is coming. The dog is coming. Oh, okay. And we go, the one and only. The man is going to tell you like it is, the way it is. Whether the baby's ugly, the baby's going to be ugly. Goddamn.
Nah, I ain't going to talk about this baby.
What's going
on?
Thought
about it.
Good to see y'all, brothers. Y'all doing all right?
Doing all right.
Chris, you looking good and happy? I'll be checking out some of your poetry you'll be doing. Watch that down.
Yeah. Man, you know he's trying to lose some weight for somebody. I don't know who, but somebody.
The man lives in the gym.
I think so, man. As long as you don't come out smelling like mustard all the time.
Oh, hell.
Damn, nah, I gotta hit the fresh shower. I gotta stay fresh and clean. On the go.
Oh man, well today, you know, this is gonna be a great and hot topic. Which today we're gonna talk about the dangers of false freedom of believers. And one thing, yeah, because this I just want to put out there for the listeners and the watchers. Freedom, it's a word we hear all the time, but do we really understand what it means for believers today? What if some of those freedoms being offered to us are actually traps designed to pull us away from our faith and our values? What if they are just illusions making us feel liberated while compromising what we stand for? So, yeah, in this episode, we're going to go ahead and dive deep into what I call false freedom. The ones that look good on the surface, but could be dangerous to the spirit and to the morale welfare. So, you know what? Let's just roll right into this. All right. So my question, with all of y'all, when you heard the word false freedom, what came to mind with you all? I mean, what resonated?
Sabotage.
You say sabotage.
Hey, because, you know, a lot of people like to manipulate freedom and use it against them in ways where they think themselves that they are free. And we know that's been used over history time and time again. So that's the first thing that came to my mind, and just directing to people or society into their own selfish desires or needs.
Okay. So, is it being more promoted now than it has been in the past?
I think, honestly, it's about the same. I think we're just more aware of it because of the internet and how things are just connected so quickly now. Because if you go from the Roman times, even through American Revolution, much more people have always been selfish to their own desires of power and things like that. That has been going, I think, since the beginning of mankind wanting power as any kind of establishment. As this, I think now is because we have things communicating faster. More people are aware.
So how do you guys, all two of y'all, how do y'all define freedom?
See, here's what I think without such complexity in this, I don't pay much attention, to be honest, to the word freedom. Because I was born free, I am free, but do I want to become free from people, things, and all that stuff? Because I'm free. You see, but do we all have freedom?
That's the question.
In this country, we do.
But is it an illusion that we do when we are placed in certain
situations? I think we have freedom to a certain extent. As long as you're not stepping on somebody's toes. It's like you can have freedom, but hold up, wait a minute. You can only move so far, because if we had, let's say, complete freedom, we can do whatever we want. There wouldn't be no laws.
When I guess, Josh Shane, and it's always good to be here with you guys. You guys don't know how much I enjoy this, boy. We've been doing this for a minute. But I'm going to put the host on the witness stand.
Uh-oh.
You always trying to put me on the witness stand.
Put them on the witness stand. Put them on the witness stand.
So,
Call a witness.
what do you want us to lead us up to? Be free from freedom.
Well, first of all, it seems like everyone has a different terminology of freedom, the word freedom. So I want to begin there, and then there's a place in the direction that this discussion is going to end up going, that you'll catch up as you are, Baker. You'll pick up really quick why I went from one point to the next. So with that being said, how do y'all define freedom? Because what my terminology is freedom is different from another. Just like I have my shirt, our Operation Iraqi Freedom. So that terminology of freedom is different from someone else's. So how can we just basically know what is actual freedom in a definition? Is freedom physical? Is it freedom mental? Is it freedom spiritual?
I mean, honestly, I think there's not just one answer to freedom. I think it just comes to your perspective and then how you see the world today. Because
okay.
I can see the world of freedom in one perspective, because I can be like the freedom to express myself, to move without the world, without restriction or like without judgment, something like that. And then somebody else can have freedom of something completely different.
Okay. So
So
would
I
that
think
also cause conflict?
absolutely.
So
mankind.
because everyone is trying to define stuff differently of the same word. Why is that? Because then it also conflicts with values, right?
I mean, there's always been a conflict of values, and then like it goes back to this. Like I never will forget in my psychology class, they would say like what forms your beliefs is how you're brought up, your education, your religion, and all that, and much more. So when we talk about freedom, you take a person from two different kind of cultures, and they're gonna have some things built into them, and you throw a word freedom at both people, they're gonna see it differently every time. And then I guarantee you, they're gonna have some things that they can agree with, and they're gonna be some things they're gonna bump head with, like every time. That's because the way that they brought up or see the world is different. You can't force. I think what happens is like when someone is different, we either try to force a person to believe what we or I want to them to believe in, or we just see it as a complete negative and think it's like wrong and like I'm right, you're wrong. And I think that's what comes into like button over their heads. So
Okay.
come back.
So if that is the case, based on what you're saying, then there is a problem in defining what is freedom, because it's a constant conflict with values. So if that's the case, how can a believer distinguish between genuine freedom and the deceptive liberties that may lead to moral compromise?
Ooh, to me, I feel like I feel like with every answer that I give, it's still gonna be a conflict, honestly. And the reason why I'm saying that is because people are gonna have their own disciplines and beliefs. And I think what it comes down to is we go as human beings is we gotta get to the point where we can agree to disagree or be able to at least understand and just move forward. But we know society don't move like that.
I see Baker's pretty quiet, but I'm gonna ask this next question because I know it's gonna rub him a certain type of
Oh,
way.
you gonna get the dog going?
So my next question, based on what you're saying, and I feel that we need to actually have a universal definition of freedom, because it can and could possibly reduce the conflicts and the values, even though at least a foundation, because
Can I
right
be a
now it
devil's advocate?
seems like there's no foundation, which is causes more problem, more conflict. People's values are out of whack, which
I
reflects to the what's been taught, the upbringing. I can give you an example. Okay, now let's look at what color is the sky.
blue, of course. I
It's
mean,
blue. So I can't say the sky's purple, right?
no. You
Why?
know what? That's not the right color. I mean,
How do we know? How do we know that's not the right color?
I know where you're going with this,
Mhm.
because you know what, this reminds me of that question I sent you through text, and I'm gonna answer it all.
but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, if you understand what I'm saying,
so freedom.
What?
Go ahead.
So my next question is, if there's no at least a little foundation, then what role does the government play in shaping the political perception of freedom? And are
Let me say this real
they
quick,
some
and then let
tactics
Baker go.
being used to redefine what freedom means?
I'm gonna say this, and Baker, you unleash.
No, take it
Because
down.
no. But I love everything that you were saying, because you need discipline. You need a basically way to guide the people, because you need some kind of structure. I get that. I'm all about
Because you
that.
got some
And
badass
then
kids talking about they free, they
you
can get their ass
you
whooped.
you
And
do,
you
and
got
at the same,
criminals that say, I want to be free and I don't even get put in jail.
and I agree with that. But I'm gonna be a devil advocate to myself in this part, and I can see where the other point of view is gonna come. You know, you're saying like, okay, there needs to be a universal way of freedom. I guarantee you, someone's gonna hear that and be like, "You want to force free? Okay, you say you want me to be free, but now you're gonna
Mhm.
constrict my freedom to what you call universal. I don't like that." I guarantee
Okay.
there's gonna be someone that's gonna say that.
Okay. So that means that also too, when they go into our past discussion in past episodes where the ABC community was normal, they want to make it not normal, and what's not
It
normal, they
would.
want it to appear as normal. That's basically, in the sense, what you're saying, how people are going to
It's
look at it in that same fashion.
it feels like an endless cycle, but that's what we're doing.
But how does the government play a role in shaping the political or the public
All
perception of
over the
freedom?
place.
Now, I
All
would
over
get
the
this from
place.
Baker because I know Baker's itching. He at the
Yeah,
edge of
yeah,
his
yeah.
seat.
I'm
Unleash.
listening.
So
We want to hear what you got to say,
yeah,
Baker.
so what's your take on it?
Well,
Especially right what's going on right now with all these individuals that's running for office, and from president to vice president to the local level to the state level. I mean, and how they try to use the American flag to symbolize freedom when we kind of see it in a different manner.
I say to that, the song say never trust a trick. Now, I know y'all dancing around and making it look pretty, which I understand.
Oh no.
But freedom,
I'm waiting for
Oh,
the real and raw response.
hey, we need to get
freedom,
him on
brother.
who's leaving his comments, because he's in the service too. He's saying, yeah.
But freedom is what a man thinks freedom is. Now, my freedom may be your bondage, and your bondage may be my freedom. And never go around having people to dictate your freedom. Because a man is never free physically until he becomes free mentally.
Okay.
Ooh, say it again for the
And
people in the back. I think
they
they
ain't
missed
paying me to talk twice.
Now, since you said that, let me ask you this based on what you just said. What you
I
just
ain't
said.
finished.
Okay.
My mind, I'm an old man, and
Okay.
I put this grease on my hair and on my head and stuff
He
slip
said
my mind.
ass.
And stuff be slipping my mind. But I guess I'm trying to understand something. No one like to be confined or in prison by another person. Now, people in their mind, now listen to this. This is not just any. It's people are in, because we talk of freedom. People are in prison in their politics. People are in prison in their home, in their marriage, in their business, in their occupation. People are in bondage. And the same bondage become freedom. Because I'm free to be married. I'm free to be single. I'm free to work. I'm free to start a business. And nobody likes to stop their movement and to move about. So I don't think anyone can dictate to any of us on the show tonight how to go left. Now, is that me?
No.
Oh, y'all playing the music over me now.
No, that was a technical difficulty.
No, it ain't no technical nothing. I know how this game's played. But on the real is that, listen, I know what freedom is, okay? If you're going to be free first up here.
Now, how can one be free up there first?
Well, man, look, I get you. I know where you're driving, but listen, you can't take no medication really to be free up here. You just got to know that you're free. I ain't got to sign no law in to get a drink of water. I'm free.
But isn't that a problem? Isn't that a problem with people not knowing how to be free mentally?
Well, listen. Let me say this to you. This is real. Some years ago, I'm fascinated with birds. I like birds. Okay. And 20 plus years ago, I decided to get a bird. Now this is serious. And I was living in a condo and I put this bird in this cage. Okay, seriously. And I think it's a little blue bird. And the poor little bird maybe a month. And I think someone told me because the temp I kept in the house wasn't right. But see, if you're gonna like something, it must be free. Do you get it? Okay. And that bird was not meant to be in a cage. Okay? Your mind is a cage, and you can put in it what you want. You can stop yourself from driving drunk. You can stop yourself from eating ice cream at night psychologically. In your mind, you started this show. But in the back of your mind, you could have said, let's postpone it. Postpone it because we were supposed to have some other thugs on here tonight. Now, let me drive this vehicle. Let me run this bus in the ground.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you want to go to break and all that.
No, go ahead. No, I'm telling you, go ahead.
We free, brother. Now, do you want to run a commercial?
No, I want you to go ahead. And then afterwards, we're going to run a commercial after this. But you're on fire right now.
We free, okay? And to be honest, if I could, what was the guy? Chris helped me with this. There's no port, I think. His name is Kierkegaard. Soreen. Now, don't steal the stuff. Soreen, I think it is. Soreen, Kierkegaard, something like that. Put it in the Googleation, man.
Go ahead, host.
You know what he said one time, and he's an 1800th century somewhere along there.
And what was that name again?
The young blood got it. Soreen, I think it is. Soren, Kierkegaard. I don't know how to spell it. I went to public school.
Me did.
Kirkegard. But listen to what he said once. He said, and I'm quoting, he said, if he was a doctor, he said he would write a prescription to mankind, a prescription, watch this, of silence. Ooh. See, your mind is filled with chatter that is not verbalized. Okay? Unquote the man. Listen, he was basically saying, be free in your mind, and nobody has the key to unlock how you think. So I'm trying to figure out which way we're going to go with this. Because I'm not asking for freedom because I already have it. I'm free in my mind, I'm free in my body, and I'm free to do what I want to do. Now, y'all quick to ask the police, am I free to leave?
Yeah, that's true.
No. So, young blood, I can see you reading. You got him, huh? Or maybe you didn't get it. Did you pull
I'm waiting
oh
for
yeah,
I
I have it. It's a philosopher, a Danish.
same damn thing.
Yep, he was a philosopher.
Cold as he could be. Listen, cold, very cold. But what I'm saying, is that free from what? We're free from everything. Do you understand? Now, are y'all gonna be free November? Now, this is what I was gonna tell. What are we free? Are y'all gonna be free November the 5th?
Let's see. That's my next question.
That's voting day. Are you free to go down there and cash your vote at these polls? We're free, man.
And that is my next question in relation to what you just said about the election and people, government, the perception of freedom. What role does the government play in that? Because you said that everything is in the head, it's in the mind, in other words. But the role of the government in this perception of freedom
is to stay out of people's business.
And also how they redefine what is freedom, because these individuals are considered as all of us, as believers, especially during this election time. You understand what I mean?
It's on a whole nother high.
You say believers, what do you mean?
Believers, okay. You have the blue people that believe in the Democrat, people that believe in the Republican. They are the believers that they just stuck to, like what we've always been discussing and mentioning past episodes in regards to people are so attached to the party as believers and not look at the issues. So in a sense, they are not, or they don't have that freedom in the way you're speaking in regards to mentally.
Well, they have the freedom, but they don't have the knowledge to understand each party. Chris said something, and that's why I was listening, and we talk about this often. It's convictions in your heart. Whatever I'm convicted of and feel, and I'm strong about it, you can't persuade me.
Yeah,
and that's in the Bible that Paul said, "Thou almost persuaded me to be a Christian." Okay? And remember he said that, and he told the king, "I wish I would persuade all you guys." But my point of thinking is, when you are convicted about something, you're free about it. I don't miss a vote for nothing. I vote all the time, and I may not vote the way you guys vote, because a lot of people vote along the color line, and I wish we would get away from that. I don't see people in color. Now you want to talk?
Okay, I'm gonna give you an ad lib real quick. So with that, are people free with that? Because some people restricted or contain themselves within a culture, or let's say a invisible wall, because they don't want to offend, let's say, the people who brought them up. So are we truly free? Because if we contain ourselves within a construct, are we pretty much define what we believe in as freedom?
Well, Chris, most of us. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna let you finish, because y'all both have a point.
We know that we free. So Queen said, "Hello, gentlemen."
Oh yeah, she sure did.
Yeah. Queen, where is she tonight? But go ahead, I'm mind my business. Free.
Oh Lord,
she free. So
watch out there now,
Baker. You brought up the election. So how come the upcoming election influence believers' rights to practice? And this is in your area. That's a combination of their faith openly, and are these policies or candidates that pose a threat to these type of freedom?
Well, man, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Listen, black people have been taught to vote Democratic. White people think they're the Republicans, and you know that's the game the way it is. And when you really peel back the layers, listen, politics, Christianity, and the world system, it's an onion. Do you know? All right, it's an onion.
Mm-hmm.
You never get to a core. It's always layers and layers. If you eat a peach, you're going to come to the core. Politics and preaching, religion, it's layers and layers, and you never get to the core. And people say, I grew up Democrat, and I'm a die Democrat. I grew up Baptist. I get it. But at some point, you should be the free thinker to think, why do I vote the way I vote? Now, I don't know if y'all want me to just tell my mind. I'm free, and I'm going to tell it. Most people go on a date with politics just for the moment. And that's during election time.
Temporary.
That's all it is. And so you don't know what you're voting for. You don't know what the politicians stand for. And it's just tradition in our community. But when we pick up books and start reading why you vote, do you know, I think Chris can help me, in the early, I don't know, 1700, I don't know, I wasn't here. I was on
neither was I.
You swimming in somebody.
No, I wasn't. The Bible says God fearfully and wonderfully made me. I was set aside to be here at an appointed time. I wasn't called because he said many are called, but few are chosen. I was chosen, so I was set aside and appointed for this time. Talk, Blake Baker. Now watch this. Okay. If you're talking freedom, what we fought for, what we believe in, if you want to get down to it, the Republican Party was originally blacks.
Yeah.
It's because of their core belief, their conviction religiously and spiritually. And the master had to come at every church and send a master there to make sure, listen, all right, it goes like this. Pay me for what I know. Okay? Is this. This is what they would do. The dominant culture would send in a preacher to sit in on the African American, well, not African, the black Negro church service. And he wanted to make sure he got in your head through fear so you can believe. You can talk about, I got joy on the other side. You could only talk about the here and after, not the right now. So he would make sure you wasn't talking about cutting on land and doing all that freedom stuff here. That's what the purpose, to make sure. And the man would sit there. He didn't have a physical whip, but his presence was a whip to make sure you don't detour. And he would come sit in the service and he said, oh yeah, they talking about freedom on the other side and joy on the other side and streets of gold on the other side, but not here. Because if you're not physically thinking here, you won't prepare to be here. You won't do nothing to be here. You won't vote. You won't do nothing.
Oh, I got a dangerous question to ask.
Go on there. Go ahead. Tell it.
All right. So with that said,
let me get this cigarette.
You had to smoke for this question too?
Hey, y'all gotta quit dyeing your hair. I noticed.
Oh, I ain't no dyeing this hair.
Well, why
ain't nobody dyeing no hair?
All this old milk under my I'm gonna start dyeing mine. Go ahead, Chris.
But my question is, okay, with that, then some people will make this argument. Now, I know this is going to make both of y'all heated. Some people believe that religion restricts freedom.
It does.
Because some people have manipulated and used religions against people for their own motives. And
give me that money. The girl say that money. Give me that money for send it to me.
So
I may do something strange for your change.
Oh, hell, here we go with this. But I think that is one thing that makes a lot of people look so different when it comes to religion nowadays, because they feel that a lot of people, or crooked people basically, are using religions against them, not in a way that it should, but more for their own narrative or place of power, or even way to persuasion, like totally against what it's supposed to be used for.
I agree. Against religion.
I agree.
Because religion is not Christianity.
No, it's not.
Religion is man-made, is organized. It's the
separate.
mafia. It's the hit list. It's the clubs of the Diddy stuff. Religion.
I agree.
But all right, let me be devil's advocate since this is in trenches because you got people that's going. Let me throw this in there because Christianity is considered religion. Let me be the devil's advocate because
when
to who?
Since when?
It's in. You
What?
Since
when?
All these.
Let me have them, Josh.
Religion.
When?
Ain't no look.
But who?
Let me have
know this in textbooks. Religion, Muslim, all them was considered religions.
Okay,
don't be biased.
So let me
biased about it since being the trenches.
So that's the case. Everything they put in the book or did not put in the book, and it's a little off about black people being slaves because it benefited us. And not the horror of
me
it.
pulling out my text.
Let
me pull these textbooks out real quick.
Hold on, Joshine. Come on back. You way out
these
for
textbooks out real
45
quick.
in Greenspoint.
Let me pull out these textbooks real quick.
Come back to the 59. Why Chris pulling that? Chris said, listen to what he said. It's valid, but it has a little taste. Everything has a little taste of complexity. He said to me, who say Christianity is not a religion? That's what you said, right? Christianity can be considered a religion. I'm talking to you, Chris.
It's not just me. That's in textbook.
No,
I may have said it like that.
Well, we got to define it, man. So look.
So we have somebody here that put on here. The Bible already spoke on religion. Being a follower of Christ is through a relationship.
Okay. Listen, I was just trying to comment what Chris said, because Christianity, when you don't put it in the right definition, can be a religion. But remember, Christianity, a Christian, it was just like a word we started. What's up, Doc? What's up, dude? What's up, bro? Because I ain't got time because y'all not going to give me the offering, go to church. When Paul was at Antioch, they called him, they said, you old Christian. That's what they called him because he was acting like Christ.
Christ-like. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, how can you wear the badge that you're a Christian? What? Mm-hmm. Okay, get the scripture where it tells us to be Christian. The Bible never commanded us with such a high call. Okay. You can't be no Christian.
But look, this is actually really awesome. So would that be fair for the other people who their other beliefs? Since you want to throw that card,
freedom.
Okay, but that applies to all religions or practices across the board.
But
I know I'm being devil's advocate on purpose.
And your religion become your freedom.
Mm-hmm. Go in detail and explain.
You ain't never saw him, tasted, felt him, or saw God. It's in your mind and where you put your beliefs at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Free to do that.
Okay.
I'm not knocking anybody's belief because the Bible calls us to be believers and not Christians. That's two different things.
Right.
Okay, I give you that.
You get it? So when you put Christianity on me, it's a very high calling because I ain't Christ-like. Because I be wanting to cut some of these niggas out. I mean, God forgive me, but I don't be meaning to. And I ain't
said it how you wanted to say.
But I'm just saying. So that ain't Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to maintain and be a Christian. That's a high calling. But I'm a believer. Whosoever believes on me.
So with that, I'm gonna ask you this directly, Becker. What to you defines Christ-like? I'm gonna phrase it like that.
Loving the unlovable.
Okay.
Which is the hardest thing to do.
Okay.
So as hell.
Now I'm not telling you I'm gonna sit here and let somebody spit in my face and tell me it's raining. No. It's just loving. And listen, stand in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because when you go to traveling in someone else's lane, it creates a chaos. Now watch this. Any given time you come in and you're getting on the freeway, one way, it tell you, do not enter. You know, you get it? Mm-hmm. Because you're going to face ongoing traffic. Sometimes what make us become unlovable, we in other folks' business.
We do that quite
and
often.
so it moves us from our beliefs that the Bible even tell us don't meddle in other man's matters. Now that ain't man.
Now,
like
you know,
gender.
human nature wants to
No,
meddle in
that's
people's stuff.
mankind. We knows we gonna get into people's business. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so thankful that I learned the art of being free in my mind. Because you could sit at the dinner table with people and eat dinner with them, and everybody got a different belief because they're free in their mind on different levels. Everybody ain't free on the level you're on, and I am on, and Jashim is on. Now, what puts us in bondage when somebody else come and put the keys on us, the locks on us, like these politicians do. They trick you,
right.
the illusion.
Listen, I'm gonna hit something. I'm gonna hit them with something. It's not coming from my book. I mean, my mouth. It's coming from the book. And keep and looking straight from the book. I'm showing y'all.
What book is that?
Oh,
I can't
college
see
book.
What's
psychology.
The name of?
Discover Psychology. It's an old one, but a second edition. Coming straight out the textbook. This is what, and everybody. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with this person, Karl Marx. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He said this about religion exam and role in society in the capitalist class hierarchy. In Marx's review, religion serves the interests of the ruling class by providing an outlet for human misery that obscures the true source of suffering among subordinate classes, their exploration by ruling class. That's not out of my mouth. What do you have to say about that?
Read it again, Chris. You broke up because
Lord, I gotta read it again.
I got books on him. Now
that's why I'm. Let me pull it up again. Gotta go through these pages. All right, I got you. I'll say it one more time. You ready? Karl Marx's writings about religion examines its role in society and the capitalist class hierarchy. And Marx's review, religion serves the interests of the ruling class by providing an outlet for human misery that obscures the true source of suffering among subordinate classes, their exploration by the ruling class.
To be religious, you got to be poor. To be religious, you got to be without.
Mm-hmm.
To be religion, you got to go around. I know you're quoting him, but you're trying to stay away from the Christianity, and we say religion is suffering don't prove nothing. If I'm understanding his quote, the religion, and I'm trying to face the religion that we put in our head, that becomes a religion if it's confined. I guess I'm trying to say to one, just Chris, some people are stronghold and they never could be persuaded to do any other thing or any other way. And they become so dogmatic about freedom. And then you could take your freedom, and lock other people up with it. Your convictions, and lock other people up with it.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start this allegiance, and we pledge allegiance to these.
Allegiance. It's funny because
listen to these false organizations.
It's funny because I was in the same thing
tonight. Government. We sick of government.
And there's a reason why I'm saying the government is because of how they are manipulating the terminology.
And you said pledge allegiance. Look, I pledge allegiance. I mean, this book deadly. Not a lot of people can handle this book, but I love psychology.
Being favorite to religion would send you to hell. All right, watch out there now. Who said that? Your life elevated. Okay, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, never be faithful to religion.
Yeah, I'm getting it from a book, huh?
Strong belief.
Yeah, strong belief.
Now, I want to talk about how people manipulate and prey on our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what you got, it's just, I guess, when you talk about being free and freedom, you can be all over the place all night long.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I'm free is to get in my head what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, when I get ready to do it, and how I'm going to do it. The only thing that stop me is being in chains and bound. Now, that fella ain't moving around much.
What
that
fella?
Went to jail. I done forgot his name.
Oh God, you're talking about Pete. I know you're talking
he's
about
not
Pete.
used to being confined like that.
No.
I don't know. You used to confine other people though.
Well, we gonna get I get it. So now watch this here. We opened the door in our mind to allow people in our head to convince us otherwise of our strong conviction about religion, politics, and everything else. And we, black people, we're good at shutting our eye at stuff. Now, we got these politicians here in Fort Bend County, supposed to be one of the fastest growing counties in the state. They're crooked as a crowbar sometimes. I guess that's everywhere with politics. And it don't just affect you locally, it affects you everywhere in freedom. Now, you go look it up for yourself and see what's going
Baker,
on.
I will say this. I agree with you on that because you do become, or naturally in time, your surrounding circle or your influences. That is, I mean, that's biblical all around. Like, you hang around certain people and the way they talk and much more, you will eventually become like them. Or you're like your average 5. And with that can kind of go into this topic as well, because your surrounding influences can try to persuade you to move or act in a certain way. So are you free then? Based on your influence, since we really diving into it, because we have seen plenty of times where people want to do something but don't want to offend or hurt the feelings of somebody else, and that goes from friends, people we work with, relationship, marriages, all the above. This is the kind of stuff people are afraid to talk about, but your really close influences can affect you in that many ways. So again, are you free, or is it just false freedom given that you're free, you can maneuver around? But they're guiding you if their own manipulative ways.
Well, if I get in your head and you start following me, you're free to choose. I guess what I'm saying, Chris, is can people really stop our freedom? I don't know what we're going to do or y'all going to do after the show, but whatever you do, you're free to do. Because you're in your mind, you're free. Now, sometimes we may be free in our mind to do something physically, but we know Lazarus ain't up.
So
that go over your head. You get it? Now, you may want to do something in your mind physically, mentally, really, but you know you don't have no strength.
Because you still have the control to pretty much play out the action.
To think, to hope, and freedom is hope. Freedom is faith. It's what you call it and what you want it to be. Now, Jashim said this. I thought y'all was going that way because I always think like this. Somebody taught us everything we know. Okay, Chris.
Yep.
Who told us water was wet?
Oh, now see
that was a discussion.
We actually had this in the school, and you could I want to hear your answers on this, because we had this in the classrooms, and the students was going back and forth. We literally asked them, "Is water wet?" And you would be surprised at the answers that we were getting back and forth. Oh, there was some heated arguments.
Yeah, and so it depends on what you want to call it.
Very true.
Is air really fresh air?
You'll get them going.
It's cold, it's hot. See, here's the thing: is that I think one of the writers said this here. He said, "Who told us?"
You know what, Becky? I'm gonna say this.
could be happiness or something to that effect. Go ahead.
This is a thought that I have been thinking for the longest, even at a young age. I thought this: whoever whoever is in control of education, or whoever is in control of giving the thought, controls the minds of the people. So when you're going back to the part like who told you this, is whoever the educator, whoever was the pretty much the disciplinary, whoever that person is.
Want me to tell you who it was? I know who it was.
What you about to say? What you about to say, Baker?
When God chunked Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and God came back to check on them, he said, who told you you were naked? Mm-hmm. They had no knowledge. They were bucket naked. And he asked the question, who told you you were naked? Who gave you that knowledge? And then, of course, the story goes, and that old serpent, the devil.
So, all right, let me pause you on there, Baker, because I think this goes into like the title, The Dangers and False Freedoms of Believers. All right, so we always want to pursue and get more knowledge. Now, yes, remember beforehand, like we're going to go scripture for a second. When you say like
you got your book, I got my book too. Now,
hey, that's that's what the show is about. We got to bring the text into it and all kind of information.
Now, he got another book up there in the background.
But before then, they did not believe or thought they were naked until they obtained what? Knowledge. So with that said, can knowledge be at the same time a route to our own demise? Because we want to seek knowledge, but when we seek so much.
Absolutely. Much learning has made you ignorant. That's Bible. That ain't Baker.
Hey.
That's Bible. Much learning, look it up, has made you ignorant. So knowledge can be to our own demise. Do you, Chris, you know that we don't use but a small percentage of our brain, because if we would calculate and use it all, we'd be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Ruthless.
Okay. and yes, knowledge. Some stuff we should know and some stuff we shouldn't know. All right. The minute look, you've been feeling fine and doing fine, and all of a sudden the doctor say your blood pressure up, then you change your behavior because you got knowledge. And sometimes they don't have facts with it.
And heck, you can make yourself sicker because of what that person
said.
Now
you were, that's my point.
Bingo. And you were perfectly fine.
And
now
you
about
fine.
to worry yourself. Now you about to worry yourself to an early grave worried about it.
Yeah, I got the high blood. I'm eating up with the diabetes and all this other stuff. And you go to work and you worry yourself.
And make yourself worse.
Yeah. Not knowing is knowing. You get it?
All right, so let me throw this into that. So, like, okay.
Wait, let's go to a commercial. I got to pay a water bill.
You got to pay. They about to cut your water off, man.
All right, well, you are in the trenches, and guess what? We're about
when
to
you get
right
old, you'll understand, like old people say.
We'll be right back after this. After this commercial break. See. All right, well, we are back. And we had a great discussion in regards to this today's hot topic, the dangers of the false freedom for believers. And this is not just believers just in the church, but also too, we're speaking about believers that are just general believers in whatever they look at, from politics to government, to whatever and to whomever. So, Chris, with that being said, Chris, my other thing that I want to ask is in this current, and before Baker says anything, I know this is I know he's gonna have something to say. Is the current political climate leaning towards removing certain religious freedom under the the so-called the progress? And if so, what actions can believers take to protect their rights? Because we have a big difference in the politics that's going on now of Kamala Harris and Trump, when there's a big clash between two different parties, two different believers, but is it affecting what's going on?
Let me jump on it before I lose my train of thought. So, like right now, I would say like there, of course, there is a huge battle or war when it comes to this, especially for your beliefs or what you value, especially like with women who think they should have rights to their body. Now they should move, and they shouldn't have to move out to different states just to get abortion and much more. And then you have Christian values being challenged, and so much that. And then on top of that, literally everything is into a conflict. You have, of course, let me just break it down. The government is trying to place in laws, structures, and things to contain so civilization will move according to how the government believes it should move. And then, of course, you have more open-minded individuals or people who are rebel that want to have still their own control or way to move, and they don't like being told what to do, or they want to insert or bring a new belief because they feel like they have freedom to express themselves, or felt like their freedom has never been expressed before, and now they're speaking out. And I think we're in this element now where all this is coming to head, and we're seeing more attention than ever, and we clearly see it through this election time, because it's like a war of words and beliefs all over the place, and that's what I'm seeing.
And that's the reason why I was asking that question. But I want to hear Baker, his response on it.
What was the question?
Question is the current political climate,
man, you know the question to
I know I'm listening.
Removing certain religious freedom under the so-called progress? And if so, what actions can believers take to protect their rights?
Nothing. We're going to do what Koreans do, the Chinese do, and other foreign countries do. If they go underground, and you can't take your religion or let's just say your beliefs, and regulate it when it's in your head. Now, I get it. I get it. This government has been against believers and Christianity, religion, and here's how they do it. One page at a time.
Oh, yeah.
You took guns out, Bible out of the school, and you replace them with guns. Anytime you remove something,
you got to replace it with something.
You got to replace it with something, and it's devastating, because what happened, Chris was saying it earlier, your association with people makes your mind think, and all these kids walking around with guns in their pocket, and they're all trying to outdo. And listen, the danger of that comes from these politicians, because they shredding the Constitution, they shredding how we believe. The true faith and true religion is when you really can't be chained by the government.
But doesn't the government fear that?
Well, listen, they fear it. But listen, Chris, every politician know our soft spot when it comes to those type of things. And they play with it. They get on their rules, and they say they Christian, they liberal, they Democrat, they pop, all this here. We are sometimes our own enemies, letting the government intrude in our life. Now, they ain't going to stop you from having prayer tonight, because they don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say, don't give up control where there's no control.
That part right there.
Because we want to believe there's the government. They're not interested in that. No, it's what Joshim said earlier. It's influencing you in your mind.
So if everything, you agree that everything is influenced through the mind. So how can an individual know that they're being influenced through the mind? You mentioned earlier that to have the knowledge, but some people think they have the knowledge, but they really lack the knowledge.
You know you're going to dangerous territory with this one.
So how can one even get to that point if they don't realize they lack the knowledge, but then they turn around and believe that they have the knowledge?
Now did you knock me off like you do?
No, you pressed the wrong button, brother.
Oh man. Well,
okay, now we can see it.
What question is this here is that, Joshua, we can't educate. We can't change the process of people thinking overnight. It's one page at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, we didn't get into this. It takes some time. It's like you can't paint a house in one day. It just takes some time. And
I know it takes time,
but there's another
acknowledgement of knowing that you lack that knowledge. How can
the young people listening to today?
Oh, they listen to
Shush. You want to bring this up? Okay.
They listen to all that. What would you call it? That shiggity. They listen to that shiggity.
I don't know that, man.
You know you've been to one of those parties before.
Because you know there's always has to be a step.
I'm a hush my mouth. I ain't never been to one. Didn't know nothing. Didn't even know nothing about the man, how they do all this rap business. But if it was a whole lot of women there, I don't know about all the. Look, hey, you want to hear something funny? Here, you talking about influence? Now watch this here. I bet you every man and woman and threw out all their baby Johnson or whatever they call it. Everybody went in their closet.
He went there, y'all. He went there.
They throwing it out.
He went there.
To something else. They say, "Oh man," because thinking your mind.
For real.
Somebody come to your house and you may just add oil there because you know black people turn ashy and they need something oil. Now they throwing. Well,
black folks be so ashy, look like they digging for flour.
I bet you threw your baby oil out the other day and got rid of all that because you don't want to associate it with what appear to be evil. 1,000 bottles of baby oil ain't hurt nobody.
No,
it's what you're doing with it. Now, what they need all that oil for? I understand the derriere is real big on them women, and you got to take that baby oil and shoot that oil. Watch out that now. I get it. Now, what you gonna do? You see, now, we have this philosophy of thinking. Please mute me. They just confirmed in my appointment. Counsel, I'll be at your house, counsel.
All right. So, what's your take on it, Chris, in that question?
I'm still sticking to what I said earlier.
How can one acknowledge or even know that they lack the knowledge to even get to the point where Baker had described in being free mentally? Because
I think
everybody think they're smart, but not everybody is smart.
That's why I said that. I go back to what I said earlier, but just to kind of make it plain is like everybody want to be right, and then on top of that, a person has to be willing to listen, and we know how much of a conflict that is today. And people want to really be strong and firm, and not want to be listened to anything else nowadays. And I think that's what's causes so much conflict. And people believe, as I kind of say it like this, people believe their shit so much to the point where they believe they shit smell good. I know I said it wrong, but that's what's going on. And even though it may be completely wrong, if a person has that much strong of a belief in it, they will try their best to make anyone else believe the same thing.
You know who you ought to believe?
Go ahead.
Just keep it real.
Keep it real.
It's when you're by yourself and in your own confinement, by yourself, and you isolated from everybody else.
Better get real.
Listen to that person. There he is.
There he is.
How's it going?
Good.
How's it going, guys?
That person
What's
in your
going on?
head. That person that talks to you when you by yourself and says you had a good day, and you talk back to him and say, "No, I had a bad day." So be your own influencer.
Mm-hmm.
Be your own mind changer. You can't come over here and plant no corn in my yard. I'm gonna handle you. I'm gonna call the police. Ain't no corn growing over here no more. Look, now, let me show you something. Now, I'm old, but I ain't that old. I was riding way from the south.
Hey, don't be talking about that old, because we're around the same age, brother.
That's cotton.
Your age.
I ain't that damn old.
No, the people told me.
No, man, I ain't that damn old. You bring out cotton.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm done.
I was trolling the other week on about 200-300 acres and all out here, just looking. And people don't know cotton still grow. And I ain't gonna say the people with me say, "Man, these are people cotton alone." I said, "No, I want to say I picked cotton." Now
Okay.
I wanted to listen. I wanted to physically do it just this one time. Just say I picked some cotton.
Oh God!
But I ain't picking no cotton up here. I'm picking paper, and it's already manufactured. See what's in your mind, and you believe, and you apply those principles. I'm my own agent. I represent me well. Now I'm gonna put all y'all out there. So I'm my own influencer. Be your own influencer. Be your own game changer, mind changer. Create your own. I don't know.
All right. Well, we have some listeners and watchers. So what do y'all have to say on this topic that we've been having right now?
How about you go ahead and speak, Nicholas? Like, oh, these are my two good friends. So make
I
sure you
should have known there
yourself
was something slick going on.
Well, he slid in here.
You always doing that slick stuff, and then you get the people mad at me and come
He doing that
They
slick
already put a hit out of me on the Joshine said they put a hit out on me on the what they call it?
Nobody put a hit on you.
On TikTok, man. Oh yeah, they hot as fish grease over here on this TikTok with bacon.
Yeah,
you be making people mad at times.
I ain't scared. I'm free.
Yeah, I appreciate that message. I appreciate what you've been sharing, because it's a very important topic about us not being locked up in a mental prison. Sometimes our belief systems will get influenced by what's happening around, but we're all connected through our soul. Our soul is all very similar. We may have the different beliefs, but that it traps people because it creates a divide with communication. It creates a divide with understanding and empathy of one another. And because of that, you have a bunch of people that start to separate instead of having communication like you're having here.
Yeah, they're afraid to voice it and say it. And that's a very well put. So the host posed a question. He said, what do we do when the people don't know how to change their mind? And I'm thinking, you can't really get in nobody's head, really, to make them change years ago.
Out of your control.
Unless there you go. You say, all right, now watch this. They keep, and you triggered it, they keep us bound in our mind by offering us fake freedom.
And that's why I asked
Don't
the question
worry,
earlier
I'll give
about
you a
genuine
box of
freedom.
Yeah.
And you feel free not working. You feel free not being responsible because you got a false promise. Let me plow the land. I don't mind now. I just ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna get me a couple of them John Deere tractors. But good point. Now the host want to know, how do we do that? I mean, if we really be honest with ourselves, we don't like working hard trying to get somebody to change their thought about how they've been feeling for many years. You just say these words, and it's a dangerous person. It is what it is. You got to watch a person say that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's giving up hope. It is what it is.
Lots of people have they've let the concrete solidify, around their brain. So it becomes a very fixed mind, especially as people sort of do get older. They may have these fixed beliefs for 20, 30 years. And because of that, they're not going to change. They're going to be headstrong till the day they die. So you could bring the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But you can open their eyes to the truth.
We said that earlier, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, you hear what he said?
That's confirmation right there. Because a lot of people are stuck in their own ways, and they will pretty much battle you until death if you try to persuade them otherwise. And that's why I also said, like,
they're going to the grave.
It comes out of your own. You can pretty much be of influence, or you can suggest. But at the end of the day, that person has control of what they want to do. You can't just be a puppet master and be like, okay, move this way by force, unless you project some kind of extreme pain or suffering. When that's a whole nother part of it. But other than that, that's out of your control.
It also ties into personal identity. People want to feel part of something, and because of that, they'll formulate an identity. We see this with gangs. We see this with teams. We see this with religion. We see this with cultures. We see this across the board. And that clique mentality keeps it. That's the problem, because we feel, oh, we're over here and we're over here and you're over here and we're all different. And because of that, there's no need for us to hang out together. There's no need for me to want to understand your culture or your experiences because I'm so fit. And it's a very selfish mindset, and it keeps the world very, very separated. And especially in America, this is the melting pot. We're coming from so many different nations, so many different places. And I have a lot of personal experiences on me having a certain belief system and being housed with other people that had completely different belief systems. But there's a mutual respect and soul to soul. They're praying 5 times a day. I have to get my stuff off the floor, and I have to put it on my bed to respect that man's belief so he can pray 5 times a day on the floor. And that will not bother me. A lot of people will have that fixed. It's almost like the blinders on the freaking racehorse, and it gets us nowhere.
Some people gonna be like, I ain't moving my stuff. And then here comes the conflict.
Well, then you're disconnecting yourself from society, because any day of the week I can go in and I understand the culture that I deal with, and I respect their own pride. I've seen that, and I respect it, and I love it. And at the end of the day, it's just how it flows. We just got to be able. I don't know we would ever understand one another 100%, but we ought to be at least at 80, and respecting people. Sometimes I love different cultures. But now understand, every man has a right to believe and do how they feel and what they feel. See, that becomes, Chris, you see, we call it religion. I get it. But that's what we
labeled it.
No, we call it, it becomes a safe place, my safe place. You come to the average church on Sunday morning, some of us may feel uncomfortable, regardless of the culture. I don't like all that noise and the drums, and there's too much confusion. You get it? Yeah. And some may say, well, man, they just sit there and they don't, it's different things. So everything needs a little seasoning.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get it? Yeah. And you know, funny joke one time, I took this lady on a date. And
watch that now.
Watch that now.
Where you going with this, Baker?
No, well, she confused. You ever went to a Chinese, like PF Chang? You don't see salt on the table.
Yeah.
You don't see salt and pepper. And sometimes we ask for salt when we ain't even taste the food yet. To change the flavor. What you believe, how you think, Baker. Before you go to saying, oh, maybe one of them old hardcore, they call me a black hillbilly. And I just tell them, well, your mama, but it is. That's what I say. Because of my beliefs. Oh my God. You know, and man, if you let people persuade you otherwise from your belief, you don't believe anything. I can move you at any time. We should be able to motivate one another.
True.
That's how it should be.
Okay.
Instead of all this friction.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's always been very educational. Now there's another little lady in the corner. I can't see her because the screen's so small.
It's another one individual came on.
Well,
Go ahead,
she can't
introduce
turn
yourself.
her camera on.
Introduce yourself. D Ford.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, how you doing? How you doing?
Oh, it's a gentleman. Oh, okay.
Watch out there now. How you do that one?
Good, brother.
All right, now we on to something here tonight. We talking about identity and freedom. We ain't that free.
That's it.
Now we ain't that free.
Well, here's the thing about freedom. So, freedom is something that nobody has yet. So, what I mean by that is thus, we were not free because we're going to go back to the Garden of Eden. We were free for a brief moment. Then Satan tricked Adam and Eve. Now we went back under non-freedom. Then Jesus came Jesus. Oh, it was definitely a trick. The enemy always plays tricks, per the word.
Well,
and then from that point, we got the enemy was defeated through Christ, who set us free again. Now, the next phase of that for any human is you must maintain your freedom by obeying in which you choose through your choice that God give us free will to maintain your freedom in Christ or maintain your freedom in the earth according to what God says what freedom is. Now, everybody's not going to choose or like that statement. However,
what's the definition that God say freedom is? I missed that.
For those who are free, we are free indeed in Christ. So that means because Christ paid the price, we got freedom.
Whom the Son. Okay, I get it.
Correct. I want to do a shorthand version. I don't want to get wear out my welcome the first day.
People shorthand version. That's cutting corners on the truths and the facts, and we
true. I want to respect the time. I want to respect the time of the show, so I don't want to be too disrespectful or put me too short.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and say it.
Anyway.
Okay, right. So when we understand the matrix of the world, is that you're really not truly free until you make a choice to accept Jesus Christ as our Savior. Then that's where true freedom lies. Other than that, you're going to have a non-freedom lifestyle. It gives you the illusion of freedom, but it has the tentacles of darkness that goes with that. So nobody's free until we make a choice to be free. And then once we're truly free through Jesus Christ, through the blood, then that's where we can find the ways, the pathways through our choices. That's where true freedom lies. But it's an individual choice. It's not a group choice. Because everybody got to go through that door singular. It's not a group pathway.
How long have you been free, sir?
Ooh, I want to say at least to the early 80s.
Okay. Now I'm close to 100, but I'm not there. You know how long I've been free?
Go ahead, talk to me.
Before I got here, because the work was finished. You get it? I get what you're saying.
Well, I know what you're saying on that part.
The church teaches. The church teaches this religion, and I think we're talking about that tonight. And they are, and some of us is you got to remember something. No man can just wake up and come to God. He said, no man can come to me except I draw him.
Correct.
In other words, he has to do something. He has to stimulate something in your mind. Okay? So I try to figure out when people say they accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I get it and I understand it.
Right.
But it's dogma. It's madness. Because we really don't know how to accept him. Now, what's that scripture? What's that scripture that's it? I'm gonna write it down.
Right.
Okay. I hear you turning your pages. You got a paper Bible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know. Can you see us?
I can see you, gentlemen. I'm
Okay.
on
Now
my
you give us the
I got a big
scripture real quick, but you.
I got a big screen TV over here in the office.
Well, don't be. Oh, okay. Now you ain't gonna take up no offering, huh?
No.
Because you turning the pages in
I'm
that
brand new to the
Bible.
team. I'm brand new to the team. I can't do nothing like that yet. I don't have those kind of
What you mean?
green lights yet. Got to be respectful.
I understand.
But I can help you raise one now if you want to. If we want me to raise
Well,
one for you.
no. This ain't a Diddy part.
He said this ain't a Diddy part.
I don't know nothing about that. You speaking of
I
worlds
just
I'm
hear
not even
Chris and
familiar with right
Joshie
there.
talk about it.
That's some stuff I'm not familiar with, so I can't even help you with that one.
You found your scripture?
I'm still flipping. I got a
Well,
bunch of
man, why
scriptures
don't
on
you
my
go
head.
electronically and just put what's the scripture you were looking for? The one I was telling you when the man accept. Listen, Chris, the rest of us here. When did we come to the Lord? I know people like to date when they came. You don't know when you came.
Well, you should know. I'll put it like this. Everybody should know. And the reason why I say it like this, because the Bible says that we are at an age of consent, basically. I'm paraphrasing. That
What
means
is
of
scripture?
age of knowledge, right? So let's just say, I'll word it like this for the sake of time. I'm going to say, when I have the knowledge as a human, male or female, when you have the knowledge and comprehension of what the Bible is talking about, you can make a choice, a decision, if you want to choose to accept Christ as your personal savior. Nobody actually can make a choice to be saved as a believer without the knowledge themselves. It's not a team effort, it's an individual effort. So if the individual chooses through hearing the word and then retaining the information, processing the information, and then they make a conscious decision that they want to live that lifestyle, then they are choosing the lifestyle of Christ, right? Which is a follower of Elohim, right? So now there's no other way, according to the word, there's no other way to the Father but through Christ. If nobody chooses through their choice of God giving us, if we don't choose that particular way, true freedom does not lie in our lives without going through that particular way, according to word. Not Ford, not nobody else on the panel, nobody else on the earth. That's the only way to get there, right? That's where the true freedom lies. Any other way is a copy of, that's what the devil does. He gives us a carbon copy or try to give us the illusion of freedom by saying, I can give you this. We can refer back to Jesus going into the desert 40 days and 40 nights. Satan presented an opportunity to him, which Christ had to do the same thing as we did because he was in human form, is what? Make a choice. Either he can say, take the money and be ruling and have that, or he
Ford, I
didn't
get
take
it,
the
but
choice.
how can you offer somebody something they already
I don't
own?
offer it. Humans can't offer
No.
nothing
That's
to
not what I'm
nobody else.
saying, and I don't want to get in a religious debate. But you say when Jesus was in the desert and tempted 40 days and 40 nights,
Right.
and he got up on the mountaintop, and the
Mm-hmm.
devil tried to cut him a deal. He tried to
Correct.
say, "Hey, turn these stones into bread."
Right.
Well, how you gonna tell Jesus to turn in stones into bread, which he is the creator? Okay, how you gonna tell him to jump down and all this? I get what you're saying.
Because we both know he's ignorant.
That becomes so hard for
Right.
people who are just
It
it
is.
becomes
I agree with you
it's a
100%.
high calling of understanding the purpose of Christ, and I don't want to get into it. Okay, and I
Well,
get you.
I can with you, but I know it's not the time or place nor the topic for that
Because
discussion.
the
But
man
I
gonna
truly understand
charge
what you're
us to
saying.
do this on another show. He'll charge us because this, the
Right.
Bible say, if you're a Christian, render unto Caesar the things be unto Caesar.
And to God was
Okay,
God.
well, he Caesar tonight.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Well,
He's got to get paid.
I need that
Okay.
money. Give me that money.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Now I get it. So, your church. What city are you in?
Houston.
Oh Lord, you have a church.
I almost spit out my damn drink.
You have a church, sir?
No.
What church you go to if you're not scared to say it?
It is Grace Church. It's on the Beltway 8.
Oh, that white church?
No, it's a
Pentecostal
multicultural
church.
church. It's white. It's an international church, actually. It's not a white
Yeah,
church.
it ain't
But I know what you're talking
international.
about.
It used to be part of the Lily White organization. And I know they doctrine and I know they teaching. Great is the
It
mystery
is
of God,
a
for God was manifested in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen in the
right.
angels, preached under that apostolic, that religion where the women couldn't wear nothing but heavy cotton stockings and long dresses. And if they showed any little titties or something.
Oh God, Becky went
I
off.
know
Get him.
that church, Grace, and I'm not talking about it. It's a good church. I know. But do you know how
So
long you been there?
that is a non-denominational church. Now they
Now it
were
is.
that.
How long you been there?
They've been non-denominational for way over 20 years. I've been there for 15.
Well, I knew them 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Papa and son. I get it, and I know I get your strong belief, and that's what we're talking about tonight, believing in our mind and you know how we believe. And one thing that, and I know we have to go, one thing we fail to do in anything, any profession, is we fail sometimes to completely articulate why we believe the way we believe, and we want we want people just to accept a blank check.
Right.
No, you're not supposed to. No, we can't do that. You're right.
Yeah, we got to be able to tell it like it is.
And then when you tell it, they have a problem.
Get offended or mad.
Yeah.
When they're trying.
No, right. You're supposed to be able to articulate. There's no exception to that rule. No, nobody's immune to that. Correct.
And I know you quote the Bible. It even teaches us, be ready to answer every man when he has a question. You know, you got to be quick. Because I know we use it. The devil ain't waiting on you to thumb through the pages. When he question you as to what you believe, the Bible says you better know this. Be quick to answer every man.
And you're also working within the confines of your.
What if I was a believer?
I don't move on the speed of what man expectations me to move on. So I move upon how the Holy Spirit.
You were talking to us, the Bible. We were talking about something else.
I will say this.
We didn't do no benediction.
I will say this, and I will move on. I will say this and move on.
No. We don't do that like that.
I will say this and move on. So I will say thank you guys. Appreciate it, brothers, for inviting me on. Chris, the plan of salvation.
The devil.
So
I talk Chris the devil.
In the Bible,
really? Hey, look.
Wow.
Who did this? No, I get it, and I enjoyed it. And they all, I said, I can't see good comments and for that. We always respect people's opinion. That's what it's about.
Right.
Yeah. And we're all anticipating this great arrival, which I am. But I ain't looking for him riding on a donkey, but I'm looking for him riding on the clouds. And that's our faith, that's our belief. And we can't let the preachers, the politicians, and punks change our thought process.
Nope.
And I think it's been great tonight because everybody has this high level of conviction about what we believe. And I'm free, even though.
And I would say that I feel like I'm glad that we all came in because it can show the world like how different perspectives can pretty much move forward towards a solution. Because we all have our different ways of come up and different viewpoints based on like our. That's why I show the sociology because like we're all different, but we can all unite as one. And so like I think this is like a really great way to come together and also a way to demonstrate. Despite your differences, you can communicate for a better understanding.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do, this is what we're going to do. Since we have our listeners and the watchers that are on here, I'm going to let you all go first. Nicholas, what is you give your last word as we get ready to close?
Yeah, I really just appreciate being on here. I appreciate the topic. It's really important. But I do sort of want to highlight. So I know we got a little into religion, a little deep into belief. And it's not to disregard anyone's belief. I actually was raised Catholic. I have the Bible printed on my arm wherever I go. But we cannot say a Rastafarian man is not free. We cannot say a Muslim man is not free, because those are their belief systems, and they are believing in a higher power, and they are operating from a moral code in those religions. And I've read books in Rastafarianism, and I read the Quran myself when I was in prison, and it is almost identical to the Bible, almost to a T. So it's to just have a respect for the different perspectives and hear, but then also come together just like we are to share our different beliefs. And as long as we know there's a higher power that's above man, that has created us, that has created the nature, the fruit, the vegetables, all of the good stuff that we see, that is the most important part of the whole process.
Wow.
All right.
And that's basically what we've been saying tonight. Joshine, the question to you is, the statement that is, man, thank you for putting such a very provocative topic out here, because a lot of podcasts and a lot of shows won't discuss this because nobody want to understand the culture and the beliefs of other people. And that's basically what Nicholas is saying. And Reverend Ford, did he go away?
Now, Ford is here.
Yeah.
Watch out there
I'm
now. I
still
gotta
here.
talk to Queen. What you know about oneness? Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Lord.
Ford, let me go ahead and you give your last statement as we get ready to close for people that's listening as well as watching. What do you have to say?
Like, once again, I enjoy being invited on the panel. Great talk and understanding diversity and knowledge when it comes to certain topics. And the belief is going to be the belief of each and every person. But the truth lies within all of that woven fabric of it as well. And I just, it's an honor to talk to you guys tonight. And everyone else that's
I
watching.
want to say
It's an honor to have you guys.
apologize because I couldn't see the picture, and I thought it was something. But you know, people I know for it, and we thank you for coming on. I'll tell you that's some other show we can click on here, and Joshima will send you my email address, and I'll call you. I guarantee you, at the church you go to, I know a lot of people go there, and so I may know you.
Well, Chris,
I've been around for a minute, so we probably know some of the same people.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you one day you tell. I do know.
Well,
Because Grace is not a regular church that people just, it's a very unique place. I know about it. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, you know, everybody on the call was wonderful as well.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, go ahead and what do you have to say?
Trying to see how I can phrase this. For my last words, I would say imprisonment and freedom begins and ends with the mind. And at times, you must listen, but always be a student. Everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to hear. And I'll leave it like that.
All right, Baker.
Man, this has been awesome. That's all I can say.
It's been awesome. What? That's it? Okay. All right. You know, that's a shocker. Well,
man, and for to understand this, I gotta go do what Jesus taught us to do: be fishermen of men in the morning.
All right. Well, all right. Well, I want to thank the guests and, of course, you know, my inner circle of the co-hosts for coming on and thanking those that's been watching and listening and supporting the In the Trenches podcast. You could have been at any other podcast, could have been listening to any other podcast, but you decided you wanted to hear the real and raw discussions that you won't get from any other place. But don't forget to also check out our hottest merchandise on our website. And the one of the hottest is the Baker Collection. So check our website that is inthetrenchespodcast.com. I want to say thank y'all, as well as always remember, don't be bitter, be better, and then execute. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.
We live in a world where language and communication have become politically correct. We say, you've been listening to In the Trenches. Real, raw, plain speak without all the political correctness. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, reach out to TS&F Consultant and Management on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So long for now from In the Trenches.